Good morning, folks. It's your old Uncle Jason here. Gonna serve you up some spiritual breakfast from Our Daily Bread. So let's get into it, shall we? Today's Bible reading for Saturday, November 2nd, 2024, is taken from the book of the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 20, verse 20 through 28. Put that over there. There we are. Then came him to the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshipping him, and declaring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She said unto him, Grant that these my two sons may sit, one on thy right hand, and the other the left in thy kingdom. But Jesus answered and said, Ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They said unto him, We are able. And he said unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand or my left, it's not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brethren. But Jesus called on them unto him, and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister, and whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. Now that's some good word, folks. That's some good word indeed. And it goes along with what I said the other day. But let's get into the article, shall we? Serving God for Good is the title of the article, and it's written by Annie Cetas, C-E-T-A-S. Brad moved to a new city and quickly found a church where he could worship. He went to services for a few weeks, and then one Sunday he talked to the pastor afterward about his desire to serve in any way needed. I just want to reach for the broom. He started by helping set up chairs for the services and cleaning the restrooms. The church family found out later that Brad's giftedness was in teaching, but he was willing to do anything. Jesus taught 2 of his disciples, James and John, and their mother a lesson in servanthood. Their mother requested that her sons have a place of honor on each side of Christ when he came into his kingdom. The other disciples heard about this and grew angry with them. Perhaps they wanted those positions for themselves. Jesus told them that exercising authority over others wasn't the way to live, but instead serving was most important. Whoever wants to become a great among you, you must be a servant. Brad's words, reach for the broom, are a practical picture for what each of us can do in our communities and churches to serve Christ. Brad described his life's passion for God in this way. I want to serve for the glory of God, for the good of the world, and for my own joy. How will you and I, quote, reach for the broom as God leads us? Now, folks, I want to explain something to you. It doesn't matter what it is you choose to do. If you do it for the glory of the Lord, you're going the right direction. For God has said, whatever ye do, do it as if you're serving the Lord. That way you have a reward. And before I continue, I want to apologize about this daggone thing here. For whatever reason, it keeps adjusting its brightness, and it's really starting to irritate. But it's just one of those deals. There we are. It still ain't working. So I apologize. There we go. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. Serving the Lord. Pick something. Anything. It's like going back to what it said in iRobot. You see a need, fill a need. If they need chairs helping set up every for the church services, jump in. If somebody needs help with their vehicle and you know what to do, jump in. If somebody needs help mowing the lawn, jump in. Same way with the church. There's plenty of chores to do around the church building. My own personal church, we have a list of everything that needs done, and they send it around. Anybody wants to help, everybody jumps in. I myself have pitched in on things that's been needed over the last, let's say, maybe year and a half I've been going there. Interesting thing is, whenever I was delivering papers, I'd roll right by that church, and I'd drop off some offering every week from my pay. So technically speaking, I've been attending that church for a little more than 5 years, because that's how long I was doing papers back yonder ways. But it's been a lot longer than that, because that was back before 2018. Just to give you a little insight on the life of that church. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, the point is, if you feel God pushing you or pulling you into a certain direction, go that direction. Don't ignore God's pull to serve, because that might be a blessing that you might be needing. That might be a blessing that person that's about to be served needs. That actually might be the only thing that stands between them seeing God and them slipping into eternity not having knowing. It's one of those deals where I've seen that happen over the years, folks. I've seen it happen. History has proven this. During the age of the Templars, there was one such man who crossed enemy lines and sought to speak to the Muslim leader. And he stated that had I known more Christians like him, I would have loved to know this Jesus. There's a time and a place for everything when it comes to certain things, but serving the Lord with love is always at the forefront. Always at the forefront. It's one of them deals, folks. You gotta be sensitive to the voice of God. You gotta be attuned to His direction. Otherwise, He could take a step to the left, and yourself is going over here. Then you realize He stepped away from you. Even though He's still there, He was going in a different direction than you are. That's happened before. I once seen a man talking on the phone walk past a homeless man who was reaching out his hand to greet him. And the man who was on the phone just kept walking. But he stopped about 15 feet beyond him. As he felt the pull of his heart. He hangs up the phone, comes back to the homeless man, kneels down, and shakes the man's hand, and says, "How you doing, sir?" In that moment, a soul is saved, because he listened to the pull of Christ. It may not be as dramatic as that. It may not even be as simple as that. Whatever the case might be, it could be subtle, very, very subtle, so subtle that if you're not paying attention, you could miss it. That's why Paul stated to pray continuously, pray without ceasing. You'll find it. You'll run into it. You'll be pulled. You seek the Lord. You draw nigh unto Him. He'll draw nigh unto you. And then you'll start to develop the mind of Christ. You'll start to develop the eyes of Christ. You'll start to see the world through His eyes. And then you'll start to see and start to pray, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do." It's one of them deals, folks. So, in the meantime, let's pray to the Lord that He opens up our eyes and gives us the wisdom that we need to hear His voice and to know what to do. Otherwise, we'll be mindless, like I said yesterday in the video. So, without further gilding the lily and without further ado, I'll leave you with this final word. Yet even if you stare death in the face, I pray all you see is God's grace. And until we meet again, stay safe, stay blessed, and as always, stay in the shadow of the Almighty. This is your old Uncle Jason, signing off.